So the topic tonight here is how universal sphere can benefit both you and your loved ones. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes here. I'm going to go over how it's personally benefited me, and then I'll share how it's benefited people that I know through me doing spheres. I'll give a few examples of how it's helped different people. And then for those of you watching, if you have any questions, you can actually type them in. I've never used that feature before, but there is a feature in YouTube where you can type in a question live as the video is going. So we'll welcome questions after I share a little bit. So again, thanks for tuning in. Universal Sphere is something that I'm very passionate about. I am an instructor. I teach workshops in Canada, and I have a workshop coming up next week, Saturday, in Vancouver. So if anyone watching is in Vancouver area, love to have you out there. So how has it benefited me? So I'm someone that was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I'm grateful and fortunate to be mentally stable. And that being said, how Universal Spheres helped me is it's helped diminish the waves, the ups and downs in my moods. I still have ups and downs like everyone watching, even if you don't have a mental illness. What I will say, though, is that those waves have been diminishing, getting less and less and less and less. And that's been happening as a direct result of doing Universal Spheres. Whenever I do a Universal Sphere, I literally feel better. So that's a huge benefit. On Monday of this week, I recognized that I was low. I was definitely mildly depressed from a few things happening in my life. And there's different tools I have to help me get back to being stable once I have recognized that I am in a low state. So like, for example, I focused on making sure that I was eating healthy, a lot of self-care, and looking over a file I have called Lift Me Up, which is good things that people have written about me. I will admit, though, that the biggest game changer for me in going from being mildly depressed to stable again was doing spheres, universal spheres for other people. So what I did is I thought of people in my life who I could support energetically by doing a sphere for them. And I did spheres. And I kid you not, literally within 10 minutes, my mood shifted from being slightly depressed and feeling not so great about me and my life to feeling good and to feeling normal again, whatever normal is. And I know that might sound like a sales pitch. That's not my intention. I will say, though, that my mood dramatically shifted and very quickly. And I'm really, really grateful for that. So I know out there's a lot of people in our world, unfortunately, that suffer from depression, whether it's clinically diagnosed or not. And Universal Sphere is a tool that can truly help you shift your mood very quickly. And the reason I focused on doing spheres for other people is that it got me out of my head. So Universal Sphere, it's a tool that takes us from our head space, where most of us, especially guys, live, more into our heart space. And if any of you out there watching have ever had mild or severe depression, you most likely know that during that time, my experience when I'm in that state, I'm totally thinking about me. I don't think about other people. I'm thinking about me, how my life sucks. Man, why am I depressed again? Why am I eating crap? Why do I feel so crappy, etc. When I did these spheres for other people, of course, it shifts not only my conscious focus, but also my energy and my love towards other people. So as soon as I did those spheres for other people, that dramatically helped me. So that's the second way Universal Spheres can benefit you, is by shifting your mood. Another way that Universal Spheres helped me and that I've benefited from is the relationships in my life. So I have one sibling, and him and I, our relationship has gotten better in many ways since I've been doing Universal Spheres consistently for that relationship. Also, in the last year or two, I've had some extended family that I hadn't seen or been in contact with for a while, that we've had that connection rekindle. which I'm truly grateful for. And I have a handful of very close friendships in my life. And over the course of the last couple of years, as I've learned the universal sphere and been doing it more, those close friendships have got closer and deeper and richer. And I can't put a price on that. I mean, we've all heard and read that it's the relationships in our lives that matter. It's not the money and our houses and our toys and houses and commercial things. So yeah, for me to have those incredible relationships that are getting even better is a massive benefit, and that's directly from spheres. Another benefit I've had from Universal Sphere is on a tangible level. I first learned how to do Universal Sphere in September 2016. And I remember it was a couple months after that, I had a really bad stomach. I was going to the bathroom quite a few times in a 10-minute period. You know how that goes. And I remember thinking, okay, I just learned this cool tool. I wonder if this will help me with my stomach. So I sat down, I did a universal sphere for ideal, vibrant health. And I kid you not, within 20 minutes, my stomach was good. I was no longer doing the routine trips to the bathroom. And I was like, wow, that was amazing. Another example, in February, I was going to a family event, and I was very nervous to go to this event. It was something that there's people there that I hadn't seen in like 10 years. Very loving, caring people that have helped me at many times in my life. For different reasons, we hadn't seen each other for like 10 years. And so I decided to do a sphere before I went into that room. So I went into the bathroom, sat in a stall, did a sphere, and I walked into that room. And as soon as I entered the room, two family members came up to me, gave me a hug, took my coat, asked me what I wanted to eat, made me feel so loved and welcome. And that was literally within 5 seconds of entering the room. So I was instantly at ease, instantly felt like I desired to be there, which I truly did. And I ended up staying at that event much later than I anticipated. And it's mainly because I was enjoying myself. So that's another benefit, was events and a specific event. Another way that Universal Sphere has helped me is having a much stronger sense of trust that the universe fully has my back. And if you're watching this, chances are you're someone who considers yourself spiritual, not religious. Or if you are someone that considers yourself from a traditional religion, you would most likely be very open-minded and curious. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this. And since I've been doing universal spheres, I feel this loving presence that's around me. And I truly feel that more and more. And don't get me wrong, I still have things happening in my life. I have a few financial things that are not ideal. That's what related to my mild depression earlier this week. And, you know, I don't have a perfect life or ideal life by any means. However, I will say that I have this trust that there's a bigger plan at work for me, and that I'm part of that plan and I'm embracing it. So those are the main ways that Universal Sphere has benefited me. How it's benefited my loved ones. So I'm the type of person, as a lot of you watching are, when I find out about an important event in someone's life, I do my best to support them, even if it's virtually and I can't be there. So whether it's a job interview, a wedding, maybe someone's releasing a book, perhaps someone is looking to find a new job, etc., look a new place to live. And so what I do now is, when people in my life that I care about are in those situations, I will send them a sphere. And if there's someone who is on the same wavelength as me, I will tell them that I sent a sphere. And if there's someone who does not believe in energy work, or maybe they're from a strict religion and don't believe in collective consciousness, I send it to them anyways. I have friends in my life that have specifically told me they don't believe in energy work, even though they know I love it and I'm passionate about it. And I respect that. I still send them spheres. So that's one thing I really love about universal spheres is it's a tool that you can use at any time, any place, and it's as effective by distance or in person. So I can send spheres to any person I know on the planet at any time. And one thing that I do is I do what's called an umbrella sphere. And that's something I learned from a friend and fellow instructor, Stacy. And when I do an umbrella sphere, I include many people under that umbrella that I'm sending spheres for at the same time. So what that means is when I'm doing these umbrella spheres, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people that are benefiting energetically from these spheres. And I don't say that from an ego space to pump up my own tires. I say that because everyone can use more energetic support, as can I. And every time a universal sphere is done, it adds more love and light to the planet. And it also helps raise not only my vibration, but the whole planet's vibration. And that's an energetic vibration. Another thing universal sphere does every time it's done is it literally shoots a pin of light into outer space. And I know that sounds really weird, and I can't see the pin of light going into outer space. But we have been told that by Ishtara, and Ishtara is a being in collective consciousness that first taught Holly and Paul Marwood universal sphere. And Ishtara has a huge desire for people on Earth right now, like you and me, to have a better life and to assist the planet during this ascension process. As you know, with this ascension we're going through right now, there are tons of environmental, social, cultural, societal changes happening. Universal sphere allows you to add love and light to the world, to add positivity to the world in a world where we do have a lot of negative and very sad things happening. So it's a very tangible way that you can show your love and support for the planet. And it's much more than simply saying, let's have peace. It's actually adding to the energetic vibration of peace and love on Earth. And I know that's a huge thing, and I don't want to get too flowery or woo-woo about it, but I just think that's so amazing that every time a sphere is done, it's adding love and light to the world. And every time I do a sphere for myself, it's raising my vibration, my energetic vibration. Every time I do a universal sphere for somebody else, it's raising their vibration. And universal sphere is an outward expansive energy. So it's different from some energy tools out there. That's why it's referred to as a next generation energy tool. There's some energy tools out there which are amazing, that all of the energy is directed to the person receiving that energy. And that's fantastic. With universal sphere, when a sphere is created, that sphere energy goes outward. So not only the person receiving it benefits, but the person doing the sphere, or the practitioner, myself, in this example, I benefit. So when I do a sphere for somebody, I actually receive the benefit from that energy as well. And with it being an outward expansive energy, the planet benefits from that as well. So another way that your loved ones can benefit from universal sphere is that what may happen in your life, if universal sphere is something that you'd like to learn, is that you'll find that you will change in a positive way. The vast majority of people I know who have learned universal sphere become even more caring and loving, myself included. And when that happens, that affects all the relationships in your life. So anyone who you know that you consider a loved one, whether it's a family member or friend or pet, with you being a more caring, loving, grounded, vibrationally ascending person, you're just more at peace with yourself, you're more happy, and you're enjoying life more. And in general, those are people that other people desire to be around. And just another benefit on that note, I don't personally have a pet. I love dogs. Cats, I'm so. But I notice when I'm around dogs and cats, they sometimes they just look at me, and it's not because I'm this special guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy with who I am and proud of who I am. Um, but bottom line is, it's because I'm doing more and more spheres. They're tuning into that energetic vibration, that resonance. And for those of you out there who have pets or have been around animals, as we all have, you most likely know that pets, my understanding is they resonate at a much higher vibration than us. And there's some pets that have these incredible abilities, whether it's sniffing out cancer in people, or we've all heard those stories of dogs that are around people and they know when they're going to have a stroke, etc. So dogs and cats and other pets, they have this amazing ability to well, not an ability, that's not the best word, but they are more resonant with higher vibrations. So I do find that when I'm around animals now, they tend to notice me, and they tend to not be as nervous. Like, I live in Banff, Alberta, so I live in a purpose-built tourist town. And quite often I'll be out walking, running, or biking, and I'll see deer. And I noticed before I was doing universal spheres, whenever I saw a deer, they would almost always scatter, and they would see me and run away, as they do with a lot of people. What I find now is that I'll be around deer and they just kind of look at me. And there's been a few times in the last few weeks I've been literally within 15 feet of a deer, and they just are very calm. And again, I can't definitively prove it. I will say though that there's a very good chance that the reason why is from universal sphere. It's because I'm consistently doing them, and I'm resonating at a higher vibrational energy, which they pick up on. And even some people pick up on that. At this point in time, I do work as a server in Banff. I have a business, however, it's not my full income at this point. And I've had people that I've been serving where they just say, wow, I love your energy. What are you doing? And it depends how busy I am, depends how open-minded they are. But in those cases where I have time and they're curious and open, I'll just tell them, well, I learned this amazing energy tool. It's something I'm passionate about, and I consistently do it, and that is why. So I'm just going to share a page here for those of you watching live or watching the recording. And this page is the scientific evidence of the benefits of universal sphere. So I'm just typing that in here. And so I'm just going to quickly say how the universal sphere came about. I mentioned Ishtar before. So Ishtar is a being in collective consciousness, and Holly Marwood has the ability to channel, and she channeled Ishtara, and Ishtara taught her universal sphere. And that was first channeled to Holly in December of 2011. And Holly and Paul own Soul Genesis, which is they are the founders of Universal Sphere. So since that time, they've been doing many sessions with people. They've taught instructors, and they've taught people how to do Universal Sphere for themselves. So it's at this point in time, we do have a worldwide presence of people who know Universal Sphere. There's people in North America, Australia, New Zealand, parts of Asia, parts of Europe, but there's still a lot of the world that has never heard of it. And even me here in Alberta, I was at a networking event 2 weeks ago in Calgary, and it was for conscious business owners, so woo-woo stuff. And no one had heard of Universal Sphere. Now it's 40 people. So it's a very new, very easy to learn, very exciting tool for you to have. I was going to share some testimonials, but I just realized that I've kind of went long here. Oh no, I guess I didn't. That's right, I didn't start till till 5 after. But I'll just share a couple quick testimonials. So a friend of mine lives in Pennsylvania. I did a distance session for her last fall. She was waking up in the night at times because of hip pain. And we had a session asking for the universal solution energy to assist her in having vibrant health. And she messaged me like 3 months after. She's like, Scott, did I tell you about my hip? I'm like, no. She said, oh, my hip pain went away after that sphere and it never came back. I was blown away. She had one universal sphere session and her hip pain went away and it hasn't come back. Another person I did a session for lives in Paris, France. And at the time, she had just become involved with a new network marketing company. And her session was around easy business growth. And she messaged me 6 weeks after her session. And she said in the month after that session, her business income had doubled and that she had clients, new clients coming seemingly out of nowhere. People who have attended my workshops have given me some incredible testimonials. One person has learned a lot of different energy modalities and taken many spiritual courses. And she told me in an email recently that Universal Sphere is the best course she's ever taken. Another person who attended one of my workshops told me that for her, Universal Sphere is like meditation on steroids. And she's someone who had brought meditation into her life as a consistent daily practice. So there are a ton of benefits with Universal Sphere. It can benefit yourself. It can benefit where you live. It can benefit your relationships. It can benefit your pets. It can benefit your actual home, the physical home. It can benefit the town. It can benefit you when you're driving, before you're driving. It can benefit your health at a cellular level. It can benefit the planet in terms of raising the vibration. It can benefit raising the vibration of your loved ones, be it family, friends, pets. There's just so many benefits. I could literally talk for hours about all the benefits, and I trust that what I went over today gives you a good overview of the highlights of the benefits that are available with Universal Sphere. So that being said, Universal Sphere is a tool that you can learn. And if it is something you'd like to learn, please go to the Universal Sphere Facebook public page. And on the events page, it lists all the different courses that are coming up. So I'm just going to post that in the link below here, just to make it easy for you. And bear with me, it's the first time I'm using this chat feature on YouTube Live. So that's a link I just posted to the Universal Sphere event. So I'm just going to quickly go over them. So this Saturday, Soul Genesis, the founders, they're hosting an online workshop. Next week, Saturday, I'm teaching a workshop in Vancouver, Burnaby specifically. On June 3rd, my friend Stacy is teaching a workshop in Cold Lake. On June 10th, I'm teaching a workshop in Calgary. On July 11th, there's an online workshop through Soul Genesis, again, the founders of Universal Sphere. That one's ideal for people living in either Europe or Australia, just the way the timing is. On August 18th, Heather Kuhn is teaching a workshop in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And on September 16th, Soul Genesis is teaching another online workshop. So those are the offerings that are coming up. There will be more being listed in the coming weeks and months. And all I would say is that if you are watching this and you are curious at a tool, is that it exists outside of space and time. So even though I'm doing this on Thursday, May 17th, 2018 at 8:33 p.m. Mountain Time, whenever you're watching this, wherever you're watching this, you will receive the benefit of this group Universal Sphere. So I'm going to do that now. And I'd encourage you to be in a quiet place, turn your phone off so you're not distracted or what have you. And yeah, you can be sitting in a chair, you can be lying on a couch, you can be lying in bed if you'd like. And what I'd encourage you to do is to set a timer for ideally 25 minutes if you can. And essentially, the first 5 minutes, you'll receive the sphere. And then after I send the sphere, I will just say a quick good night. And then after that, just relax and bathe in that beautiful solution energy. And you'll be receiving it regardless. That being said, when you're in an open, curious, relaxed, non-distracted environment, it ensures that there's maximum transmission of that energy to you. So I'm just going to get comfortable. I'm going to turn my camera up because I'm going to keep you in suspense as to what a universal sphere looks like. So you'll get a nice view of my ceiling as I'm doing this universal sphere. But I'm just going to turn this up. And as I say, for those of you watching live or the recording, get nice and comfortable. Turn your phone off. Set an alarm for 25 minutes from now. And enjoy the experience. For those of you who are feeling called to do so, I'd love to hear comments about what your experience was. So please feel free to come back to this video after and comment on what the experience was like for you. I would love to hear that. So I'm just going to take a few nice deep breaths, get myself centered and grounded, and I'm going to be quiet for the next 5 minutes or so as I'm creating and releasing this sphere. My apologies, I won't be quiet the whole time. I'm just going to get quiet to do some deep breathing, get centered. I thank you for watching this. And right now I'm in the process of creating this connection. So I'm tapping into the solution energy of collective consciousness that surrounds us at all times. It surrounds us with unconditional love and unconditional support. It's always there. It's up to us to tap into it and to access it. That energy is here to love us and to truly assist us in all areas of our lives. As I'm doing this, I'm moving from my head to my heart. So I'm doing my best to turn off my thinking. I'm moving into a feeling space. So I'm really feeling this energy building. Another thing I'm doing right now is I'm picturing my heart area opening up. So I like to picture a set of double doors over my heart, and those double doors open up and are sending some of my love to this beautiful sphere that's in front of me. For those of you who know chakras, I really feel my heart chakra opening up at this point in time. And I'm really enjoying this while being grateful that I have this tool to directly tap into this collective consciousness. And I'm feeling this energy building. As I'm doing this, I know that it will be increasing the love and light in the world. It will be increasing the vibration of anyone watching. And I'm feeling even more grounded and relaxed, yet energized while I'm doing this. I'm just going to take a few nice deep breaths and sit in this beautiful energy that it's being created here. So I'm truly grateful for this experience and for this universal sphere to be raising personally my vibration, because I know that this is helping me be an even better Scott. And for those of you watching, know that by you listening to this recording or being here live, that you are benefiting from this energetic support as well. And as I said, that exists outside of space and time. So you could be watching this at any point in the future and you will benefit from this energy. So feel good knowing that your time here is very well spent and you're being very well supported energetically by collective consciousness right now. You always are. This tool, Universal Sphere, is a way to directly tap into that. So I'm slowly releasing this sphere. As I'm doing that, I'm being very thankful for this experience, enjoying sitting in this beautiful energetic space. I'm just taking a few nice deep breaths to sit in this energy. And now I'm just starting to wiggle my toes and fingers. I'm doing a few stretches, bringing myself physically back to the space. And I've just opened my eyes. So thanks again for watching. As I said, for those of you who are interested in learning more about Universal Sphere, especially how to do this for yourselves, please check out the link I posted about upcoming workshops, either online or in person. Thanks for watching and take care.